Thanks very much indeed. So yes, I am the author of Stuffed and Starved, which makes me particularly pleased to be moderating a panel on Stuffed and Starved. We're going to be talking about the double burden, the phenomenon of simultaneous hunger and obesity. Of course, we're not the first panel to address this, and I want very quickly to quote one of our predecessors, a man called George Cheney, who, when he wrote this, was lamenting the obesity epidemic that was engulfing London. And he said this, he said, "Since our wealth has increased, we have ransacked all the parts of the globe to bring together its whole store of materials for riot, luxury, and to provoke excess. Is it any wonder, then, that the diseases which proceed from idleness and fullness of bread should increase in proportion and keep equal pace with those improvements in the matter and the cause of disease?" So that's George Cheney talking about what he termed the English malady. The English malady being the rise in obesity that was related to the globalization of food. But of course, he said that in 1733. So we're going to be updating that just a little bit. And in fact, we need to, because in 1733, obesity was a symptom of wealth. Whereas today, obesity and hunger are 2 points close together on a continuum of poverty. And so what we'll be talking about in this panel is precisely the etiology of the epidemic in obesity. We'll be talking, I hope, about poverty, because at the end of the day, the reason we have a food crisis is not a shortage of food, but poverty. We'll be talking, I hope, about government policy, about the role of the private sector, and whether, to quote Hillary Clinton, asking the private sector to fix the food system is like asking the Titanic to save the iceberg to save the Titanic. And we'll be asking questions about the disease burden and on whom it falls. Now, in helping to answer these questions, I have a very distinguished panel that I'm going to restrict to speaking only for 5 minutes. Per person, if you will, because then we can have a better discussion, and we're already sadly running out of time. So on the panel today is Tom Arnold, who is the Chief Executive of Concern Worldwide, Ireland's largest humanitarian organization. We have Dr. Barry Popkin, who is the Professor of Global Nutrition at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. We have Dr. Marie Ruel, who is the Director of Food Consumption and Nutrition, the Division of Food Consumption and Nutrition at the International Food Policy Research Institute. We have Paulus Verschuren, a Senior Director of the Partnership Development Group at Unilever, and Dr. Walter Willett, who is Professor of Epidemiology and Nutrition in the Department of Nutrition, which he also chairs at the Harvard School of Public Health. So, as I say, I'm going to be please asking you to stick to 5 minutes, and I'll be jumping in and also asking questions and being generally a little bit, being provocative. This is more power than a moderator should normally have, but after 8 years under this regime, I think we can all be familiar with the idea of unconstrained executive privilege. So I'll be jumping in at will. But with that, Tom, if I could ask you to speak for 5 minutes. Thank you very much.